All right, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, as always, I would love to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaha, Quadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And welcome to another series of News and Prophecy, where I go into global events and linking them to biblical prophecy to show you that everything that is written in the Holy Scriptures is faithful and true and will indeed come to pass, as we are living in the final days, the last days of Esau Edom's rulership, according to 2nd Esdras 6 and 7, for Esau's the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, when you go into that word world, it goes back to the Greek word aeon, which means an age, in which we're living at the end of the age of Esau Edom's empire. Now, if you don't know who Esau Edom is, Esau, who is Edom, that's why we say Esau Edom. Edom is short for the Edomites. The biblical Edomites, which you hear about in the Holy Scriptures today, is the self-proclaimed white man, which starts with the so-called elites, trickling down to the rest of their nation and people. Okay, trickling down to the rest of their nation and people. Okay, those are your Edomites today. So what we see right here is China launches ICBM with dummy warhead into the Pacific. I don't know if this is the Pacific Ocean, but it says during UN General, and then it cuts off right there. Now, I would click on the article, but I kind of can't do that at the moment. And the reason being is because I cannot be on the internet with this phone. I cannot make phone calls with this phone. I cannot receive text messages or texts or give out phone calls with this phone unless I am connected to Wi-Fi. So, you know, what you see on the screen right here is pretty much the last thing that was loaded the last time I had internet before I left my home today. Okay, so China launches ICBM with dummy warhead into Pacific. Okay, during UN General ... You know, but the key point here is that China is launching ICBMs. Okay. They're launching intercontinental ballistic missiles with dummy warheads into the Pacific Ocean. Now, why are they doing this, you may ask? Well, the reason why they're doing this is because they're preparing for war. Okay, as it is written, if we come over here to Joel, right? Because all these nations are gearing up for war, and they're not just gearing up for just any old war. They're gearing up for World War III. Okay, you know. Now, as states in the latest news article, okay. As it states in the latest news article that I brought out today, okay, the U.S. have sent more warships and warplanes over there to the Middle East to aid Amalek in their war against Lebanon. Now I know that is bullshit because, okay, just recently a news article came out where the Amalek, the fake Jewish people, they dropped a new mystery massive bomb on Lebanon, which created a massive explosion. And some people, when they saw the explosion, thought it was a tactical nuke. Some of them thought it was atomic warfare. So, you know, I mean, it's bullshit if they're calling over U.S. troops to help aid in their strike against Lebanon. Now, I believe that they are calling over U.S. troops over there with warships and warplanes, really to get ready to make a move on Iran. But of course, we know that before the nukes can be shot off during World War III, there's still a major prophecy that have to take place, which is the implementation of the mandatory RFID chip, which is the mark of the BEAST. So if we come over here to the book of Joel, chapter 3, and we start at 9, what does it say? It says this: proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare what? Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Okay, so the key point there is prepare war. Okay. And there's many ways a country can prepare for war, especially in the event of a nuclear war, which will be shooting off intercontinental ballistic missiles with practice dummy warheads inside of the intercontinental ballistic missiles. Now, a dummy nuclear warhead will be a nuclear warhead that would probably be about the same size and same weight as an actual nuclear warhead, to see if the intercontinental ballistic missile would be able to carry those nuclear warheads from one continent to another. As you may know, ICBM is an acronym for Intercontinental Ballistic Missile. And a intercontinental ballistic missile is basically the traveling agent that is used to carry multiple nuclear warheads, up to 100 nuclear warheads, from one country from one continent to another. And as it falls back down out the sky, it rains those nuclear warheads upon those particular upon that particular target or country once it's reached its destination. So that's why it's called an ICBM. Okay. So proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Now, this is where you got to use discernment, because sometimes when the Bible mentions Gentiles, it's talking about anyone who is not, whose father's lineage on their father's side do not go back to a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native Indian. Then at other times, it is talking about an Israelite that looked like somebody of another nation, but their father's line does go back to a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native Indian. So in this case, in Joel chapter 3, verse 9, the Gentiles is referring to people of the other nation whose line basically do not go back to a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native Indian. So these are your actual heathens right here. Joel 3 and 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Okay? So, pruning hooks and plowshares, or tools, which can also be used as weapons, which are tools used in agriculture. So, instead of investing money into the agricultural market, invest your money into heavy artillery, bombs, missiles, MRAPs, jets, warships, troops, better armor, okay, better equipment, better weapons, high-tech weapons. This is where the country's money is going towards. Why do you think China is able to test all these intercontinental ballistic missiles and drop into the Pacific Ocean? Because their money is not being invested into the economy, which the agriculture plays a big part in the economy. So instead of investing most of their money into the economy, don't get me wrong, they're still investing their money into the economy, just not as much. Most of their money is going towards war. because the world is in a spirit of war. Now, this scripture can also be broken down another way because, again, pruning hooks and plowshares are lesser weapons compared to a spear or a sword, okay? A spear, in a sense, is better than a pruning hook because it has better range. You have more possibilities with it, you know, and probably you have better defense. Okay, a sword is better than a plowshare, you know, because a sword, there's many ways you can swing it to deal a fatal blow. So beating your pruning hooks and the spears and your plowshares and the swords, this can also be a metaphor for these countries upgrading their weapons. Because at one point, America was the only country on this planet that had weapons of mass destruction. Okay? Now, during World War II, Russia was known as the country with missiles in the sense that Russia had warplanes that could shoot heat-seeking missiles, which could track down their targets, their flying targets, and literally blow them out of the air. So even then, you know, Russia had some pretty advanced weaponry, but it was nowhere near on the level of the two skinny bombs that the United States of America dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which are two cities located in Japan, which had very devastating effects on Japan. When the countries heard about the two bombs that America dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the world was basically in fear of the United States, okay? Ain't nobody want smoke with the United States of America, okay? They like, shit, how are we gonna defend ourselves against that? So, you know, as time passed on, what happened? These countries went from having only rockets, they went from having rockets, they went from having grenades, shotguns, AKs, snipers, assault rifles, hunting rifles. Okay, they went from having RPGs, which are rocket propelled grenade launchers, to basically now you're hearing about North Korea with ICBMs. You're hearing about Russia with hydrogen bombs. So, you know, Russia have a intercontinental ballistic missile known as Satan II. Okay, a weapon so powerful it can wipe out a country the size of Texas. Okay, I believe China has hypersonic missiles, which are able to travel from their country to another within an hour, or a little over an hour. You know, they have weapons that are likened unto nuclear warfare. Okay, they have weapons that have similar effects to a nuclear bomb, right? But you know, it's not necessarily a nuclear bomb like the hydrogen bomb. Okay. Okay, you know, Iran, they've been enriching in uranium over the years. I believe they have nuclear capabilities. India have nuclear weapons. Okay, NATO, they have nuclear weapons. So you see, beating a plowshare into a sword and beating a pruning hook into a spear can also be a metaphor for these countries upgrading their artillery over the years. That's why the weak is able to say they are strong, because now they have nuclear capability. They have weapons of mass destruction. America is no longer the only country with weapons of mass destruction, which is why the U.S. know that they can't just go into Iran and strike it, because then will be hit with a nuclear strike. Okay? They can't just go into Russia and do whatever they want, because Russia has highly advanced weapons. And some of Russia's artillery are more advanced than the United States. Okay? So let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves round about thither. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. The mighty ones of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai are the angels. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which Jehoshaphat in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shaphat. Okay? It's Yahweh Shaphat. Okay? Which means Yahweh's the judge. And why is it called that? For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So the Lord is going to judge those heathens. Yahweh is going to judge those heathens over there in the Middle East. That's why everyone is being gathered over there in the Middle East. Okay? Okay? And the Lord is especially going to judge these heathens over there in the Middle East, especially for what they did to the children of Israel, which are the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians. Okay? Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Okay? Come get you down, for the press is full, for the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. For their wickedness is great. You see? So, you know, if you want to know why China is testing out ICBMs with dummy nuclear warheads in it, it's because they're really getting ready for a nuclear war against the United States, because the whole world can see that the United States over the years have become weak, okay? Like women, like it tells you in Isaiah 19. Okay, the men of Egypt have forborne to fight. You can see that the U.S. economy has weakened over the years. You know? I mean, don't get me wrong. America's military is still a military might, or a mighty military power, but it don't change the fact that, you know, this country has become very weak over the times that have passed. So with that, I'm going to say shalom. Is on to the next one.